Sweet children, always remember that a lot of time has gone by and only a short time remains. You now have to forget those dirty bodies and this world and return home. That doesn't sound very, it seems so obvious. To let go of the Father's company, it's because of remembering dirty bodies or dirty things, dirty material matter. What else do we think about if we don't think about Baba? Hence, impurity. At the root, driving, motivating every action choice we make. So unless you put yourself in a bhatti, solitude, how do you come out of that? And in that solitude, what are you supposed to figure out?
I'm not alone.
Therefore, that comes from I am soul. This is the Supreme Soul, my Father, teacher. Then there's no loneliness anymore. It's just an illusion. And all this is illusion. It's not real. What intoxication should you constantly have so that your stage remains first class? Have the intoxication that there is death for the prey. You're not the prey. And joy for the hunter. You're the hunter. That's the intoxication that allows you to embrace with enthusiasm. We hunters will go home with our beloved and everyone else will be destroyed. I said, that doesn't sound very nice. Of course it is. Destruction's happening anyway. You can be the hunter, you can be the prey vis-a-vis destruction. If you don't become the hunter, then you got to be the prey. There's no kind of, I'm 50% hunter and 50% prey. Right? You're either hunter or you're prey. You either have the power of your self-respect or you don't. And if you have that, you don't fear anything. You don't live in doubt, right? You don't get deceived through what other people say or don't say. That's why you got to become predator, right? Predator. We hunters will go home with our beloved and everyone else will be destroyed. A predator, no problem with that. Based on stable in everyone's a soul, everyone's indestructible. Yep. We're going to go home in self-respect in the company of God, and they're all going to be destroyed in the illusion of suffering due to their vices. No problem. We will now shed these old skins and take new ones. Very detached, obviously, when you're a predator. Let all of this knowledge enter your intellect drop by drop through the day, and there will then be infinite happiness, and your stage will then become first class. First class stage means powerful. So, who came here today, early in the morning? Om Shanti. Who said this? You, children. You come into a life of supersensuous joy, and you say, the unlimited Father has come. What for? Why has he come? To change this impure world into a pure world. Let it enter the intellects of you children, how large the pure world is and how large the impure world is. Which one's bigger?
Impure world.
Yes, why? Because all the continents separated, and now that vibration encircles the entire globe, whereas before it was tiny and concentrated. Here there are so many millions of human beings. This is called an impure and corrupt world. Therefore, let it enter the hearts of you sweetest children, how small your new world will be and how you will rule it. Because you know what happens at copper-silver confluence, right? The Earth's axis things, the response of the continents is the plates get activated and they separate. So Pangea goes into all these separate continents. But does anybody sit and ask why that happened?
So shifted consciousness.
What specifically?
Impurity.
The-
Our head and hearts run away to.
Yes.
Not being united, being
Unity amongst us broke apart because of the head and heart problem. What a ridiculous response that the earth separates like that. But he's told you the entire Silver Age runs on consciousness. If people thought like that, would they allow the stuff to continue to multiply? It'd be enough to wake you up and pay attention, huh? There cannot be any other land, therefore let it enter the hearts of you sweetest children, how small your new world will be and how you will rule it. There cannot be any other land like our Bharat. No one understands that Bharat was heaven. There cannot be any other land like that. It's the greatest land that ever existed. You understand that this Bharat is now useless. This is the most useless version of Bharat. Bharat was heaven, but is no longer that. No one even remembers that their Bharat was the most elevated and ancient land. Even Brahmins forget this, let alone Lokik. South Asians don't even know this or remember it. This does enter the intellects of you children, but that too is number-wise according to the effort you make. Do you have this much happiness and regard? The unlimited Father has come. Baba comes every cycle to give us souls once again our fortune of the kingdom that Maya, Ravan, had snatched away from us. Isn't that it was snatched away from us through war? No. In the kingdom of Ravan, the directions we receive are
Devilish.
corrupt. From elevated, we became corrupt. Look how much the world has grown. Our land of Bharat was so small. So in this version of the world, where it's globalization, exporting, importing is, everywhere. But what are we exporting and importing? Corruption. All culture, everything is corrupt. You children should have happiness in your intellect. You should be experiencing supersensuous joy. If you're not experiencing supersensuous joy, which most of you are not, why is that? Takes first a bit of courage to admit that, but even if you don't say it out loud, we can tell from your faces, right?
I mean, Father, you're one and only.
Well, yeah, but based on what he just said,
There's no happiness in the intellect.
because
There's still some corruption.
you're corrupt. The Father says, become soul conscious. In order to break the consciousness of your bodies, Baba has told you to wear clothes with
108 patches.
108 patches on them. Poor people do that. Right? I never had 108, but I did used to wear clothes that had patches on them. Although there were connections with eminent people and jewel merchants, how did that intoxication break? One had to become soul conscious. I am a soul, and this is an old body. The patched clothing is just an old clothing. No feeling for the body. No, oh, what will people think of my body? Oh, I have to wear this to impress them, for them to like me, for them to come close to me, because it's such a part of status. And you know this. If you're raised in South Asian culture, oh my God, there's wearing a sari and there's wearing a sari, right? A snake sheds its skin and takes another. You children have this knowledge in your intellects. We will shed these old skins and then take new ones. You will receive other bodies. Let all of this knowledge enter the intellects of you children drop by drop. This is a dirty world. Even while seeing it, you have to remove it from your intellects. You have the happiness inside that you now have to return home. Your intellect yoga has to be connected there. Just say this to one another, Golan. Just say it. This is the solution. Man manabhav. This is a very powerful mantra. Although many people study the Gita, they don't understand the meaning of it. They just study it like they study any other scripture. It doesn't enter anyone's intellect that you are studying Raj Yoga for the future. A lot of time has passed, and now there's only a little time left. Continue to entertain yourselves in this way and stay happy. So you could say, I'm not going to participate in all these limited things because it's very important for me to become a deity in Golden Age. And deities in Golden Age don't participate in those kinds of things. They get detached. Okay, you could say that and then they wouldn't understand, but at least you could communicate them why you follow these regimens and lifestyle choices. But as long as you still want from these people, you cannot say these things to them. Continue to entertain yourselves in this way and stay happy. All of this is to come to an end. There is death to the prey and joy for the hunter. We will become angels and return home with our beloved. The Father of Souls sits here and gives you teachings. He looks ordinary, but he is the highest on high. The Father has come to give you the unlimited inheritance. He comes every cycle. This is a dirty world. No mistake about what he's saying. This is a dirty world. That's not the problem. You know it's a dirty world. The problem is
We want from dirty.
you still want to play in it. Each of you should talk to yourself in this way. This is called churning the ocean of this knowledge. You've been studying the scriptures for birth after birth. You now understand that no one else has had as many yagyas or done as much penance and tapasya as the people of Bharat. Those who came in the beginning have performed the most devotion. Think about the karma of China and Russia, that they had two revolutions where religion was destroyed. At least they tried to destroy. Removed from the history, removed from the culture, removed from official permitted practice. Even now. Right? Russia's a little less hard on the Christians, say, but right? But you know, there's some Muslims in Russia now. But they tried to destroy religion because it was the only thing powerful enough to give people the strength to
Disobey.
to stand up to the government. China understands this. The Politburo understands that. That's why they have made any religion in China an enemy. Those who came in the beginning have performed the most devotion. They are the ones who will go ahead in this knowledge and yoga because they then have to come in the first number once again. Those who came at the beginning, golden age. You can see that some make effort very well. This is very good for you children who are engaged in doing this spiritual service and are truly sitting here in a furnace, in a bhatti. This relationship has now become unbreakable. Those who are living at home and listening to this and sharing it with others are going ahead faster than the older ones. Those who have come late but are living at home, listening and sharing with others, are moving ahead faster than older ones. It's been seen that when the new ones come, they go ahead very fast. If you made a list, you would know about it. In the beginning, your rosary was created. However, it was then seen that very good children who were in the third or fourth number left the rosary and became part of the subjects. So rosary of the royalty. This is now your student life. Whilst living at home with your families, you are also studying this course. Many children do double courses. They receive a lift. Your course is to study this whilst living at home with your families. Families are part of your study. They're your feedback. They're your report card. They're the way you mark your virtues, give yourself a mark on various virtues. In this too, the Kumari should go very fast ahead. Because of the Kumaris, the names Kanhai, Krishna, and Gopal have been remembered. Gopis are there too, because this is the family path. You have males and females. You belong to the deity religion in the Golden Age. Lakshmi Narayan used to rule when it was?
Golden age.
Yes, in the Golden Ages.
Land of happiness.
Symbolized by?
Pure world. Heaven.
What's the symbol? Coat of arms?
Golden sparrow.
Vishnu.
All right, Vishnu.
Vishnu, Lakshmi Narayan, and therefore symbolizes
Pure house.
Family path.
family path. Let what you are becoming enter your intellects drop by drop. The deities are so first class. People go in front of their idols and sing the praise. You are full of all virtues, 16 celestial degrees full. They even do that, right? Some do it, not many today. They even do that in your last birth. So how elevated were those deities? We are sinners and cheats. We are completely without any virtue. God cannot have mercy in this or even give you blessings. So when you're feeling bad about your stage and down on yourself and feel unworthy, right? What's going on? When you're in that state, you're doing bhakti. Your bhakti sanskars have taken over because that's what they do in bhakti. Doesn't have to have anything to do with Hinduism. It's tearing down, defaming virtue. Yours or anybody else's. That's bhakti, right? God cannot have mercy in this or even give you blessings. In fact, you have to give yourself mercy and blessings. You were deities, but look what you've now become. Look at yourselves and then make effort to become deities. People say, oh, this is hard to do it. God's giving you a chance to become deities again, to get out of all this mess, right? You should avail yourself of the opportunity. You have to make effort to become beautiful from ugly. On the path of devotion, they say that one was dying, but due to someone's blessings, he recovered. They would hold the hand of their Mahatma and say, I want your blessing. Here, you have to study. There's no question of blessings, no question of mercy or blessings. Man above has a meaning. Many people give a mantra. They teach many types of Hatha Yoga. Each one's teachings are different. If you want to see a sample of Hatha Yoga, then go to the museum at Jaipur. Here, you're sitting very comfortably. Your intellects are aware that Baba is once again giving you the kingdom. There used to be the undivided deity religion there. There were no other religions there. That's why it was undivided. It takes two hands to clap. As soon as you create two religions, two hands to clap, you get
Noise.
conflict. There's only one religion, there's no violence. When there's two religions, you now have violence. Creates disunity, separates, therefore separates the country, separates the world. It's now the Iron Age. When the Iron Age ends, then even devotion will end. The population is now growing very quickly, right? Because devotion, suffering, violence, they're all related to one another. The land of Bharat doesn't grow. It is the same land. The number of human beings becomes larger and smaller. There will be very few human beings there, although it will be the same world. And this is why Baba says, go and serve the Shiv devotees. Doesn't mean that they're not impure or don't have violence, but there's a greater possibility that
There'll be a Brahmin.
they could be a Brahmin and no nonviolence, because they are pulled to worship Shiva and not human beings. There'll be very few human beings there, although it will be the same world. The world will not become any smaller. Your children should experience a great deal of happiness. We are establishing our kingdom with the power of yoga by following the Father's Srimad. The Father says, constantly remember me alone, and your sins will be burnt away. Alloy is mixed into souls. They simply speak of Sattva, Raja, and Tamo stages. They don't show that alloy is mixed into souls. At first you were golden age. You were pure gold. You then became silver, which is called the Moon Dynasty or the Silver Age. The English terms are so good: gold and silver, copper, iron. Father explains how the alloy that is mixed into souls can be removed. Souls have become Tamo from Sattva. So how can they once again become Sattva from Tamo? They believe they will become Sattva-pradhan by bathing in the Ganges, but that is not possible. People continue to bathe in the Ganges every day. People continue to bathe in the rivers. People continue to go swimming in water. People continue to
Take showers.
believe that water can purify your sins. Right? They do that in bhakti. And then Baba always says, but it cannot. Right? He tells us what the Ganges represents, tells us what knowledge represents. Knowledge is water, blah, blah, blah. Some are very firm in that discipline, bathing in the Ganges. They even go and bathe in a canal. Father tells you, make it a discipline to remember the Father. Bathe in remembrance and stay on the pilgrimage of remembrance. You are made to bathe in this knowledge. You are also taught the pilgrimage of yoga. Father gives you this knowledge, which includes the knowledge of yoga of the world cycle. Many others give knowledge of the scriptures, but they don't understand anything about yoga. They only understand about Hatha Yoga. There are many yoga ashrams. They might give the mantra of Man above, but no one apart from the Father has this knowledge. You have now completed the cycle of 84 births. There will then be the new world. How the tree grows is in your intellects. A kingdom is being established. Not everyone will go there together. The tree of Brahmins become very large, and they then return, a few at a time. Right? So obviously, with time, Raj Yoga is to make you stronger. But the highest version of that is you become predator. And if you're a predator on your own weaknesses and vices, then what will everybody else do? You destroy your attachment. What will everyone else do?
They'll want to destroy theirs.
No, not necessarily, but they will adjust to that. Or they'll just say, Ciao, go. If you want to do that so much, then go do it. Subjects will continue to be created. Anyone who hears even a little of this knowledge will become one of the subjects. The number of centers will grow. There will continue to be many exhibitions everywhere. Just as temples are built everywhere, in the same way, you'll have exhibitions in every village. There should be an exhibition in every home. There will continue to be expansion, and this is why even these pictures will eventually have to be printed. The Father's message has to reach everyone. You children have to do a very important service. The fashion of projectors and exhibitions has now emerged, and so they have to be shown in every village. They will take this knowledge very well. The birthday of Shiva is remembered, but no one knows how he comes. These things are not mentioned in the Shiv Puran. When you listen to these things, you enjoy them, but you then forget them. If you were to imbibe these points well, you would also be able to do service well. However, no one is able to imbibe all of the points. They give lectures, but afterwards they think, if they had only explained such and such points, hindsight, and they think, oh, I should have said this, should have said that. It would have been better. Those who are not body conscious will quickly be able to relate these things. They will know how to explain what to explain. They'll master knowledge very quickly. They would give a lecture and then think, did I explain the points very well? Oh, I forgot these points. The points are not going to go back home with you, right? Because they weren't in you when you came. They are just for this time, and they will then finish. Whatever you see with these eyes, they will not remain in the golden age. You don't take knowledge with you, otherwise you'd have it in the golden age. Each of you now receives a third eye of this knowledge. You are now becoming those with third eye trinity. Baba comes and gives you souls this knowledge which you imbibe. You souls receive a third eye of this knowledge. No one has the knowledge that he is a soul and is working through his body. Baba is teaching us. It takes effort to keep this in the intellect. You children have to make effort and also remain happy. Our kingdom is now about to come. You know what you will have in your kingdom. You children should have a lot of happiness that you are claiming your kingdom by studying Raj Yoga. This should make you really happy. You children should have a lot of happiness that you are claiming your kingdom by studying this. Those who are studying, remember their status, colon. We are studying for the
Future 21 birth.
future. If we study well, we will sit on the throne of the kingdom. They become very well known. If you were to make a list and make a rosary, everyone would say, send this child, so-and-so, to us to refresh everyone. Those who give lectures are invited, and so regard has to be given to them. I also have to become as clever as they are. Acha. To you, sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning. From the mother, the father, Bap Dada, the spiritual father says namaste to you, spiritual children. And
The spiritual children say namaste to the spiritual father.
essence for Dharma. Number 1, in order to experience supersensuous joy, make effort to break your body consciousness. You now have to return home. Body consciousness wrecks your supersensuous joy. We now have to return home. Therefore, connect your intellect yoga to the home, right? So they're kind of connected points, even though they don't seem to be right away. But to go home, you have to go home in supersensuous joy. That is how you have to go home, right? So you have to destroy body consciousness. What prevents you from connecting your intellect yoga to the home?
Wanting from the impure world.
The same body consciousness. 2, study whilst living at home with your family and do the double course. He says double course in English. Bathe in this knowledge and stay on the pilgrimage of remembrance and also inspire others to do the same. Every day you have to bathe in this knowledge. Blessing, may you transform yourself from being delicate, Komalta, into a wonder, Kamal, and become an embodiment of power and a conqueror of Maya. So you losing the wonder, you lose your supersensuous joy, you lose the wonder of this life, then you become delicate. Right? In order to become an embodiment of power, transform yourself from being delicate into a wonder. Be delicate in terms of transforming your own sanskars, but never become delicate while performing actions. Become an embodiment of power in this. Those who wear the armor of the form of a Shakti cannot be hit by any arrow of Maya. Shaktis don't get hit by arrows of Maya. So why do arrows of Maya, weakness, fear, sorrow come to you? You're not Shakti. And then obviously, to be a Shakti, not to be a Shakti is based on
Consciousness.
Srimad. Consciousness that you have that makes you either follow Srimad or break Srimad. So instead of being delicate, let the form of Shakti be visible on your face, in your eyes and features, and you'll be able to become a conqueror of Maya and claim a certificate of passing with honors. Okay? So this is all building karma because Baba's giving you all knowledge that you are, if you recognize Baba, you're obliged to follow. And one of the things he obviously tells you, stop playing in the old world, renounce it. It's impure. It's a graveyard. Right? Why does Baba use that metaphor? So if you haven't realized it's a graveyard, why will you stop drinking, eating, sustaining yourself from that graveyard? Right? And if you continue to do those things thinking it's okay, eventually your karmas will start building and you will start losing things that you take for granted in your Brahman life. That is called self-sabotage. What is the basis of self-sabotage?
Taking it for granted.
Well, taking it for granted, but
Lack of value.
the taking it for granted means you don't value it, and that's what makes you disregard a Srimad that came to you from God. Just because you don't understand it at that moment, just because you feel weak or whatever. You're not allowed to keep feeling weak for forever. So you're in these situations to see if you can remember Baba, but you don't go and create scenarios to test whether you can remember to remember Baba. Right? Yeah, you can tell yourself, oh, it was a test. I learned this from that. Yeah, but you created the test. Why? You don't have enough? You don't have enough tests, attachments you have to overcome? Why are you creating more? Stand back as a detached observer. Is that the correct use of time, energy? Is that the correct use of the energy Baba gives you, the trust Baba has in you, the respect Baba gives you? No, you're taking it for granted at that point. Become an embodiment of power in this. Those who wear the armor of the form of a Shakti cannot be hit by any arrow of Maya. So instead of being delicate, let the form of Shakti be visible on your face, in your eyes, and in your features. And you will then be able to become a conqueror of Maya and claim the certificate of passing with honors. Raj Yoga, becoming an emperor, becoming a deity, is not for the faint of heart. Slogan. Perform every action while set on your seat of Trikaldarshi, and Maya will run away from a distance. Why? How does Maya get near you? How does she infiltrate your defenses?
She goes into your past. You bring your past up, but you're not in the right.
Yeah, but she hides. She puts herself in disguise. If you're Trikaldarshi, you can see her in her costume from far away. When you get surprised by Maya, okay, at least you notice Maya came, but what's that tell you also? You didn't notice her creeping up on you and coming after you. Well, I wouldn't want you being the security guard for the kingdom. Avyat signal, unshakable, immovable, constant. Just as Sakar Baba demonstrated being an example of tirelessness and of having constant stage, in the same way, you children also have to become examples for others. This is your service. Service doesn't take place just through words. Service also takes place through your... That's the basis of all service you do.
Vibrations.
Where does that come from?
Yoga.
What's that based on?
Your
Here.
stage.
Your stage. Service takes place through your stage. So according to the time, make your stage stable. You keep giving permission to having a weak stage. Of course, you'll be weak. You'll remain weak.